Nope. Yep. Nope.
Welcome back, Peekers. We have another quick peek,
Nope.
along with a person we have not seen. What?
I said nope.
What the fuck? You confused me. What you should have put was the damn nope sound effect that a lot of people use in video games.
Yeah, I will. Don't worry.
We have my reminder. We have someone that we haven't seen in a long time here in the pod. It's yours truly, Mike. Mike, where you been?
Shoveling snow. It gets cold up here in the summer. So.
Oh my god. Well, glad to see your face and hear your voice. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, it's me moderating this quick peek today. And we will be talking about the movie Nope, the theatrical release that came out about 2 weeks.
Yeah,
2.5
weeks now.
ago?
Yeah, almost 2 weeks now. Yep.
Almost 2 weeks now.
Another
from critically
Jordan Peele
acclaimed.
joint, yep.
You took it right out of my mouth.
Sorry.
Jordan Peele. It's okay. Who actually, a little tidbit fact here, turned down a live action Akira movie in order to do this movie.
We have to talk about that scene with Kiki on the bike. Yeah, we'll get to it.
Okay. So, all right. I don't need to get into, and this is a spoiler-filled review.
Yeah.
Quick peek. Obviously, from the trailers, you could tell there's some sci-fi, some supernatural, some a combination of two.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
You've heard of this. You've seen this, right? You know what that is.
It is unavoidable. It is your destiny.
Is this not why you are here?
Do or do not. There is no try.
Knock that shit off.
And before we get into the movie, I like to think that he was giving an homage to the Steven Spielberg movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind, as well as the movie Signs that came out in the early 2000s, because there's a lot of connecting details between this movie and those movies. And I didn't think this was typical of anything he's ever done before.
Right.
And we're talking really about two.
This is only his third feature film. Right. So,
correct.
Yeah, there was Get Out and This Is Us. And, so far he hasn't let me down. The man, he's got that twisted. I love his brain, the way it works when it comes to writing. He's, like, you remember, for those who don't know, Jordan Peele is the Peele from Key and Peele. If you haven't seen that show, there are 5 seasons out on Comedy Central. You can go watch them. Some of the best sketch comedy I have ever seen. Between those people.
And rumor is he did most of the writing too. Obviously it was a synergy between Key and Peele, but he was really the brains of the writing of the sketches, much like Dave Chappelle and his buddy Neil. Neil did a lot of writing as well. Mm-hmm. So let's get into this particular movie, and I want to start with the cast.
Sure.
I think, in my opinion, Kiki Palmer stole the movie. She played the sister of Jordan Peele's character.
Yep.
Who, without, again, I don't want to rehash the entire movie, but their father, played by the wonderful Keefe David, who's an old school black actor, passes away through a real horrific tragedy that ties directly to the overall plot of this movie. And now they're left to farm.
It's a ranch. I wouldn't call it a farm.
It's a ranch. It wasn't a farm. It's a ranch, but it's not a typical ranch. It's a ranch that houses horses that are used for stunt choreography in a lot of Hollywood movies.
Right.
So, for example, if you watch John Wick 3, Keith's favorite John Wick, and that horse scene when they're like, the horses doing all that stuff, half of it's CGI, the other half bridge is real horses that you would get from a ranch like this. A ranch that, caters to Hollywood movies and caters to those type of stunts.
Right.
So ultimately, Kiki, you could tell that Kiki's character is a little bit off the rocker, and she doesn't really, she shies away from any sort of responsibility and accountability. And her brother, played by Jordan Peele, is really trying to just see what they could do next with this farm. So I thought her character was outstanding. Go ahead, Mike.
I did too. I didn't find that she was off her rocker, more as she didn't want to fit into the mold of her brother who was satisfied with continuing the work on the ranch, continuing the business of Hollywood horses, Haywood horses. Just a quick note: the characters in the movie are descendants of the original 2-second movie clip, the first film clip ever of a man riding on a horse. That was their great great grandfather, so I thought that was cool. But I found that she was just more like, this is not the life I want. I need more. So I don't say that she was like out there, but I just think she was ambitious, right?
All right, I'm gonna counter that by saying I think it's more like organized chaos than off her rocker. I
Yeah,
think
no, I get
she
that.
tried
Yeah.
a lot. She was doing a lot of the side hustling, and and some of us know people just like her
Yeah.
who can't really focus on one thing but have 50 different odd jobs, and they're trying to make all of it happen. And they're not looking for hard work; they're looking for a quick avenue to success.
Right.
Let's just agree on that compromise of her
She's one of
character,
those
right?
passive income people.
Yes. Now, on the flip side, her brother, played by Daniel Okulier, and I might be killing his last name, who was in Get Out, who
Hmm.
was also in the first Black Panther movie.
Yep.
He plays the lead role and a brother who, honestly, I wasn't really engaged by his character, and I couldn't tell whether it was the story, the script, or just the acting. This was tough. Like I watched
Yeah.
it twice. In the
Hmm.
second viewing, I liked him even less.
Yeah, he seemed very bland, and I'm just wondering if it was done on purpose to contrast Kiki's character and the combination of the two of them coming together to have to solve the issue, you know, with this alien, which we'll get into. Um, but he just seemed like I don't want to say unintelligent because he was very intelligent, right? But he seemed to be just like I was saying with the ambition of Kiki, he seemed to be the extreme opposite of that. Of I'm just happy with what I got, right? And I'm just going to continue
Mm.
doing what I have. I don't need anything else beyond this, so I'm just going to roll with whatever, right?
Yeah, I think the way he was emoting a lot of times just to me felt odd.
Yeah.
But we promised this would be a quick peek. So the only other things I want to talk about is some of the secondary, tertiary characters. Stephen Yeun from The Walking Dead fame, and another movie that came out earlier this year that was pretty good that I didn't see, but I heard he got a lot of rewards for that role. Um, the gentleman that plays the IMAX camera guy, I forgot his name, old school Hollywood actor. Um, you know his voice. He
Oh,
has one of those
right, right.
distinguishable voices in Hollywood.
Yeah, he was. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we'll have to up it up on the thing. Michael Wincott, right? Antlers Howl.
Yeah,
He has some weird name. Yeah.
Michael. Michael. So he actually has been around Hollywood for a long, long time. He's got a great voice. His character, I thought, was a small role, but it was an interesting role to say the least. And then, lastly, the only other character I really want to talk about was for lack of a better word, the Best Buy Apple Genius dude that tagged along with the crew, helping them filming the phenomena. We're gonna go to the story later,
Angel, his
but
name
the
was. Yeah.
phenomena that was happening around the ranch, who was, I don't know, half comic relief, half the
Right.
guy that you expect to die first in a horror movie. That's how I want to color that character in. I think the
Yeah.
secondary characters were engaging to me, both on the first and the second viewing. Um, which leads me to one other thing before we get to the story was the cinematography. Mike, I was really impressed with
Mm-hmm.
what I saw. I saw it both in IMAX and Dolby. Obviously, IMAX was one thing, but seeing how
Yeah.
vivid the night
Yes.
sequences were, which is probably half the movie. The night sequences,
Yeah.
the sky was a character in my opinion, and then you know who else was living in the sky. The sky to me, seeing how deep the nighttime was when they were filming the nighttime, and there was like you hear the noise. I felt I was really in that environment. I didn't feel like I was watching a Star Wars green screen or whatever. I felt like this was an actual video footage of the environment at
Yeah,
nighttime
I
that I thought
agree.
was
So
done
just saying
pretty
and
well. What
mentioning the
about
other
you?
day, some people wanted to watch this on their phone or get shitty those bootleg copies. Doesn't do it justice. You're not see half of the movie at nighttime.
All right. So let's get into the heart of this entire movie, which is a story and narrative. So again, it's full spoiler. The phenomenon that winds up killing their dad in the beginning of the movie was a spacecraft organism alien that was feeding on human hosts, and through its digestive process, it would any metallic or non-organic matter would get spilled out like rain and kill people. People that happen to be exposed underneath, which is how the dad died.
Yeah.
Piece of coin went through his skull. What I did like how I started by talking about Close Encounters of the Third Kind and Signs, because in both those movies you don't get a full reveal of the alien or the antagonist until probably halfway through the movie. And what I like what they did is they used the cameras. They used the Best Buy cameras they were buying. They were using all these different media to try to get a good recording, get the money shot, as they were saying in the movie. And then it goes from there to figure out, well, how can they, be able to control and get a good shot of this creature without losing their lives in the process. And they recruit Michael Wincott, I think he said his name was, who was one of those old school auteurs. Yeah, auteurs, not a director. He was like an artist that was trying to capture like the impossible shot, which is crazy. And that's the plot in a nutshell. We don't need to get into
but I will. Let me,
all the other stuff. So, Mike, what was your impression of the story as a standalone story?
So, one thing I do want to mention, and what I find interesting, it wasn't for her, and then she convinced the brother. It wasn't about figuring out this is in the beginning. It wasn't what it was or how to kill it, how to stop it. It was how can we make money off of it? How do we get a photo to make 100 grand? Right.
Which goes back to her character, right? It goes back to her character, like, side hustle,
grand, because he's in, right. So he goes along with it.
Yeah, they're in debt. That first role, they lost. He was selling his horses. That first gig failed. But go ahead,
sorry. Yeah, definitely. I love the Best Buy guy because some good comic relief movie and the whole setup with the camera. And I liked how when they would lose power when the alien came by, they kept having more moves.
Yes, the little sign. They're the precursor. The alien was coming.
Yep.
It's almost like Jaws when you know the shark is coming. You hear the sound, and then you see the first fin, and that's when you know, okay, he's here or whatever. Or Poltergeist when the electric stuff was happening in the house.
Yeah, it's.
Let's talk real quick about the actual alien itself. I thought this was a nice take on your traditional sci-fi alien enemy, where it's the entire ship itself is the organism,
right? Which
the organism
we from the trailer, the ship. So everybody it's a bunch of men in the side of a ship. So he kind of fooled us that, right? To that the alien is actually the whole ship flying. So
the ship.
Yeah.
The ship. Then they try to throw a little bit Easter eggs in the beginning where there was these kids playing pranks and they were dressed in a traditional Martian alien costume, and you're thinking, and they do the jump scare, and then every time I go there for the first viewing for someone else, they always jump.
So that was
he does the jump scare pretty well.
I had a couple of actual nope moments. Like I don't know if you had
nope
when you're watching it and the kid is an alien, but you don't know he's an alien, and he tweaks his head at a thing, and I think Daniel Kaluuya was like, nope, and he's taken away.
Nope. Yeah. So it's a running joke that works really well that I really enjoyed, particularly when he was in a car and an alien was above, shitting out all of the metallic stuff from the large group of people they just ate. And he's about to pop his head out, and then he goes, nope.
Exactly.
And then locks his door and camps out there all night. And that's perfect.
Exactly.
Perfect player on the title of the movie, the titular title of the movie, and the action scene. So let's get to the third act real quick. So how are they able to obtain the $1 million shot without losing their lives? I did like how it all ties back into Daniel's character and his ability to train a horse, which is considered a wild animal up until it's broken, right? The spirit is broken.
Yeah.
And he used that analogy by realizing how he could control the spacecraft organism. Don't look it in the eye. That's something a little Easter egg that gets dropped when they're taking a horse on a set,
Yeah.
and he's trying to tell the stage director and everyone, hey, don't look at the talent. Don't look at the horse in the eye. It doesn't know you. It's going to react negatively.
Right.
Which he applied it with the actual organism. If you don't look it in the eye, it won't come after you, which is pretty solid connection there. And then at the one moment where he feels like he has to say his sister who's on the bike, the TMZ. All right, I'll let you.
Yeah.
I know you were waiting to talk about
my
this
gosh,
part with the bike. Go ahead.
So the TMZ guy, by the way, for me as well, because that helmet, and I was like, this has got to be some kind of government science guy coming to say, don't mess with our experiment, or just coming out is just TMZ. And then when he took his bike and took off, and he was chasing her, and she did that Akira slide. You noticed that, right? And when she got to the
yes
Jupiter's
she got to that
Jupiter Park,
yes,
and then she did the
carnival spot. Yeah, the carnival spot.
That was so cool. I love that little Easter egg callback.
Dude, I just love her character in general. I was praying that she did not get killed off in the movie, and I'm glad that she didn't. So obviously, at the end of the movie, they're able to not only get the money shot, but they actually take down the organism.
Yep.
The combination of the brother and her, and actually more her wits and ability to think quick on her feet with the big little statue thing. Because what we realized about this alien, it wasn't like the Predator, for example, which is another movie some of us watch, Prey. It has senses. It has smarts to a level like a simian or a human or whatever.
Yeah.
This organism wasn't sure what it was digesting. It was just looking at a moving object, and then it didn't sense temperature. It didn't sense any of that stuff, right?
It was more.
So if it blow up a large 50-foot helium balloon with eyeballs, it would suck it up and eat it. Or one of those dead inflatable guys with the eyes, it'd do the same. So she was able to send one of those big, huge helium things up in the air for it to digest, and obviously blew up right before she got the money shot.
Yep, and
what were your thoughts on how the movie kind of wrapped up at the end?
Yeah, I love that the use of the balloon and the fact of using the camera inside the photos. That was a great use of that, because in the beginning she photobombed somebody and she realized the camera. I can grab the director at the end, though, the old guy. Well, the director was kind of weird. He let himself be eaten to get the shot right at the end.
So, I was thinking the camera would have been like expelled and they would have all the footage.
You would think, but
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, they kind of didn't show that, so it was a waste to me. Like him just standing there going possible shot and then getting eaten. So, I mean, the rest of it worked for me.
Yeah, that was stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I think that it would have worked even better had the brother actually died, because the sacrifice would have made a lot more sense.
True.
She was the last person standing at one point, and she was doing all she had to do for the photo and to take the alien down, knowing that she was the last person to do it. And then the brother comes back at the end when the dust is settled. Her brother's on a horseback, like, yeah, I made it. Like, I mean, that's a cheesy. Come on, Jordan Peele. You almost had the impossible money shot there with the ending.
Right.
You whipped out. I guarantee you they must have had another version where he died, and the audience didn't react too well, so he went back to this version. That's my gut instinct.
You're probably right there.
All right. Before we get to quick grades, I want to talk about one other thing, and you can counter it or add something else too. Since I watched the movie both times, I went back and did some reviews of other folks and read some articles online, and apparently people were saying that they believe Jordan Peele was kind of, I mean, besides the homage that I said to like the Spielbergs and those type of genres, that he was trying to give a message to what he believed Hollywood is at this point, in the media, paparazzi, how they're willing to do whatever it takes for like the shot or the news or the film footage.
Right.
Like Stephen Young's character, who is a perfect example I'm trying to get to, is the fact that his character, who also went through early tragedy on set, still somehow never learned his lesson and got right back in a similar situation with another wild beast, which is the extraterrestrial and lost his life, his family, and everyone because of his ignorance of what he should have learned early on. It feels like maybe Jordan Peele was trying to give us a message about how we are as a society. We're willing to put our lives at stake for like entertainment and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. It's a far reach, but I read a lot of articles that were trying to pull out what Jordan Peele's message could have been based on this movie because of his previous movies.
Yeah.
I don't know. What about you? Was there anything in this movie that stuck out outside of the story, like a second or third layer?
Yeah, I mean the whole thing with the Stephen Yeun's character as a kid with the chimp. I was curious, like I didn't understand really how it all tied together with the rest of the movie until towards the end when he gets killed and realizing his greed. When he opens up his room and he's got the memorabilia and the shoe, and you realize when he was a kid he sees the shoe there. So I'm like, did he steal all this stuff like so he can cash in on it? And you know what I mean? So
Wow, that's macabre. Yeah,
yeah, so
macabre.
it kind of I think people are I think that's a good assessment that on Hollywood and those Insta likes and all that stuff, right? So
Insta likes, yeah.
yeah.
Except for Hero Speak, always like our page. All right. Anything else you want to say before we get into our grades?
Nah, just like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed this. If you get a chance, go see it. So
Yeah, definitely see it. Even if you're not able to see it in the theaters when it comes out, try to see it on a Blu-ray or whatever highest definition quality you
yeah.
can, so you can see some of the points we made about the movie. All right, so I'll let you go first.
All
Where are we
right.
landing
So
with this one?
yeah. So for me, good acting, good story, good production. I'm gonna give this one a solid B plus.
Okay, okay. I know I announced my grade during the instant reaction at a movie theater. I've vacillated since then, but I'm going to go right back to where I was originally was with the B plus.
Okay.
I think since I've seen the movie twice, I really appreciated the production, cinematography. I mean, the story didn't really take away or add more to it,
Mm,
as some people would say. So I'm going to stick by my original B plus grade. I'm not going to go any lower than that.
sounds good. All right.
Alrighty. So, Mike, where can our fans and fellow peakers find us?
We are all over the internet at Heroes Peak, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're all about the likes here, right? So,
Yeah.
yep.
Please leave a comment as
Yeah,
well. Leave
leave
a
a
comment.
comment.
Don't just lurk, watch our videos, and then which is great. We love that. But we want to engage with you guys and gals. Leave a comment. Tell us what you think about this movie or any other movie you want us to go watch and review as well.
Yeah. All right. Till next time.